Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. This is episode 96, and today we got the delicious in dungeon review. Everybody, yep, that's right. We're coming back at you with another Netflix anime review, and of course, much more. So, if you'd like to join me and my friend McMillian as we discuss all things anime, sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin, everybody. All right, everybody, as always, excuse me. I hope everybody's doing super fantastic. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So as always, go ahead and hit everybody with the council announcements and the agendas for today.
So for council announcements, just real quick. If you missed it, our last episode we did a My Hero tier list. Due to the fact that the Olympics were going on, and so the newest episode of My Hero got canceled, we decided to go ahead and knock out a tier list for you guys. If you don't like the answers, jump Alex, not me. Besides that, Ace released his One Piece 11/16 review / reaction as well. So for all the One Piece fans keeping up with that, go ahead and go check that out as well. With that, our schedule for today will basically be a Delicious in Dungeon Season 1 review, going over the anime news as of late, our weekly recommendation, and then rounding everything off before we hit the outro with My Hero 151 and 152 review / discussion. So,
There
pretty
you
packed
go.
episode.
All right, thank you for that. And also just another update for the One Piece reviews, everybody. So some of you may have noticed that the reviews started coming back onto the podcast audio only platforms. They're back, everybody. I do apologize for taking them away. I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't right of me. There was really no reason to take away the audio only just because I added the reaction to the reviews, essentially. So I'm just gonna cut the video in half and just put the discussion part of the episode of the review, of course, into the audio only for you guys. And if you would like to come to YouTube and check out the reaction, support the YouTube channel, then please do. You could do that as well. But the One Piece reviews will officially be coming back to the audio only platforms, everybody. Thank you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on started with the review. Take it away, McMillian.
All right. So, for those who don't know or don't have access to Netflix right now or whatever, Delicious in Dungeon was a show that came out within the last anime season, I believe, and then kind of finished up this past summer season. And for all intents and purposes, it is a anime equivalent to D&D. Is probably the best thing I could say about it. Or like the best small thing I'd say, but basically, it focuses on a group of adventurers in this dungeon, and that we're exploring, and one day they come across a red dragon, and it eats one of the main groups, one of the main party members, who turns out to be another party member's sister. So, uh, some of them, the ones that escaped, half of the party wanted to go back immediately and go after um the dragon to save their party member, but the others were like, "Hey, we're broke. We can't basically explore this dungeon with no money, no food, no supplies." So they decided to like leave the party basically and go about their own business while three of them decided to keep on going. Um, the way they decide to continue to explore the dungeon, even though being broke and not having any money for food and stuff like that, is they decide to start eating monsters. And with this decision came, they met another adventurer who had been spending their whole life basically in the dungeon and also learning how to cook monsters or kill, slay monsters and prepare them for consumption. And that's basically the premise of the show or the synopsis without going into spoilers.
Correct. And then I will say, as far as the setting for it goes, no, the entire show takes place in the dungeon on this island. So
Mm-hmm.
dungeons in this world, dungeons can appear in anywhere, and kind of like any fantasy world, of course. But on this specific island, he already mentioned what's going on inside this dungeon. But that's where the story is taking place. It's taking place inside of a dungeon, right? And then this dungeon has multiple floors and all that, different sceneries on each floor, and it's really nice how they did. I love how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, the first one of the first floors we got to see was like a sprawling forest, right? And then right after that, you get to like this underground section with a giant lake. And then there's some other parts where you go through some tunnels and stuff, and it starts snowing. It's really crazy. I'm really glad and excited, and how they showed off
Portrayed.
like, yeah, portrayed many different areas inside this one dungeon like that. It was just really nice because it just wasn't just like hallways and corridors and just old ruin type buildings and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it was many different like actual great big areas and stuff like that, and the sceneries and stuff was great. So that was one aspect of the show I did love about it as well.
Yeah, no, I really, same. I also like the fact, story wise, like when they kind of got more into like their magic kind of, well, not system because they don't really like delve deep into it, but like there's a part of like the episodes where they kind of get into the lore of like magic in this world,
Yeah,
and they kind of show you what like kind of how a person could construct their own dungeon or create their own like from a small magical experiment. And I really thought that was interesting
there you
because
go. There you go.
oh,
My bad. Because about to say one another thing I wanted to, but what I was going to mention is how they made the dungeon feel alive. No, they explain how the ecosystem of the dungeon, how the dungeon is basically alive and things of that nature. Essentially, what you were just saying as well,
mhm.
though.
Yeah, because I was about to say dungeons can be naturally occurring, like A said, but also you can technically a powerful mage could create one because that's like the situation a bit with the one that our characters find themselves in. There's a well through the actions of the show you find out more about it, but there's a rumor basically that the dungeon they're in was created by a mad mage, um, and that the major spell that they have on it, which allows people to just basically come back to life if you heal the wound that causes them to die, is like the grand treasure basically of this dungeon, that they're trying to like solve. So I thought that
Correct.
was like really cool.
Um, damn, we should have figured this out before. Um, this is more like gonna be a spoiler free review because I know you're trying to not spoil a lot of stuff, but not
Well,
spoiler
if
free.
we
This is more than likely going to be a spoiler review.
yeah,
My apologies.
I was just saying if we are going to mention spoilers, I was just like, this is the non-spoiler. We are about to move into the spoiler. That's basically it. That's all. I'm just trying to be like
Okay, so
more
okay, well there we go. We could
transparent
do it
about
like
when we
that.
get to it.
So is there any before we get to like some spoiler stuff, there's any more, I guess, like I said, spoiler free, anything else that you would like to say about Dungeon Meshi in general? So like for example, I would say I do think the characters inside of Dungeon Meshi, or just
Hmm.
Delicious in Dungeon, if you will, fantastic. Each character
Yeah.
has their own unique personality that you get to know and love. Even the side characters were great as well in this show, not just the main cast, but the main cast, wonderful. All what, 4 or 5 of them?
Well, by the end, it's like five, but
Yeah.
yeah, it starts off. It starts off with kind of like four people, and then by the end of the series, it's like they add another person to the party. Well, by the end of the season, they add another person to the party.
Yeah, so great characters. Each member has their own unique talent that they bring to the party. Of course, like McMillian was saying, Dungeons and Dragons type type
Hmm.
situations, right? So
Legitimately.
yeah, so everybody has their own unique skill that they bring to the party, and there's a reason why they're here. Of course, amongst being friends as well, because they're not gonna put their lives in dangers like this if they weren't friends as well, because this is a dangerous mission that they are going on,
Hmm.
to save Lyos' sister. That's one of the main character, and his sister is the one who got kidnapped. Farland was her name.
Fallon,
To
yeah.
save Fallon, there we go, to save Fallon from the Red Dragon. Or not save her from the Red Dragon, potentially revive her from the Red Dragon before it's too late, because technically she's already dead. You get eaten, right? So
Yeah, basically.
but the way the dungeon works, as he was just explaining, there's ways around that and things of that nature. But we're not gonna get into all that just yet. But yes, so the characters was amazing. Once again, the setting and just how they make the dungeon come to life is amazing, and the music was good as well too. They had some really nice scores
Yeah.
in the series. I don't really say nothing too memorable, but it was nothing crazy though, like, or bad. It fit. It was decent, right?
Yeah, I would agree with all those sentiments. I guess before like getting into spoilers, something I just really like is the world that they also kind of created. Like there's an economy even based around a little bit around like dungeons and dungeon exploring and like
Mm-hmm.
a system to it all. Like honestly, because like what I really like about the show is like you start it and you're like, this is just gonna be a almost like comedic type of adventure show, and it is that. But then like as you watch it, it gets a lot deeper with like its world building, even some of like the storytelling it does, and it's just like, wow, I who knew this dumb show about eating monsters would have like got this, this granular, this deep, but
Yeah.
it actually goes there. So
Yes. I was actually writing down a spoiler-free review for this, but I just didn't get around to finish. But one of the things I did put in it was, Delicious Dozen is a fantastic fantasy story that stays true to itself from beginning to end, right? From
hmm
beginning to end, from the beginning you see what it is, and at the end it's still that, and it
there,
does
yeah,
an amazing job.
yeah,
Ain't no Ninja Kumoi going on over here.
yeah. Basically. Okay.
But all right, so yeah, that was the spoiler free review. If you, well, I guess should we give rating in the spoiler free part two?
Uh sure. Why not? Why not? I don't see why not.
8 out of 10 at least for the spoiler free, everybody. I'm not even gonna lie. After we get through discussing, I might bump up to a 9 here, just once I hear McMillian's thoughts. But baseline 8 out of 10 though. Delicious and Dungeon is a fantastic time.
I would also probably give it 8 out of 10. I am also slightly teetering like on a 9. Like it's very close to that. I don't again like it's the first season, so to be that high is very well to even like not even to only have like a fraction of the story told, right? But yeah, I think it's definitely a solid 8, potentially like a 9 type of thing. So
There you go. Well, all right. So yes, that is the end of the spoiler free review for Delicious and Dungeon. If you don't want to be spoiled, you can go ahead and skip on to the next sessions of the episode. Everybody, maybe check out news, check out the My Hero section. But yes, but now we're going ahead and get into the spoiler section of Delicious and Dungeon. Everybody, and it was a season.
yeah,
it was a season.
100%.
It was a season. So, uh, where do we even begin? Where do we even begin? So you know what? Let's just start with the group then, I guess.
Okay.
Right? The group themselves. Your favorite character. Talk
Ooh,
to me.
I
And I think
think
I'm just going ahead to get, for me personally, I got to go ahead and give it to Marcel, right? She bringing back Elven
okay.
supremacy. She holding it down while Fearing is gone. You feel me?
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. You're holding it down while Fruit is gone. That is fucking funny. Um, for me, it'd probably be Leos. Because he's just a fun guy. Honestly, like it's just so funny because like everybody treats him like he about to get them into some shit. And granted, he does. I'm not gonna lie, he does. But a lot of the times, the same things he gets them into, he is also the one getting them out of. Like while he well, I guess he's the problem child, he's also like the guy with the plan. Like everybody kind of still follows his lead, and I
Yeah.
just think that's a really cool aspect of the character to be such like a goofy person, but also at the end of the day be the reason, like be the person that everybody's still like driving behind or like following, like
Hmm.
that's the, and to have that respect and admiration of the party still, while also them being acknowledged like he has a problem, yes, he's odd, yes, but we love him for it. So Leos
Yeah.
would
I
probably be my
mean,
favorite.
listen. Yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, when it's time to show up, he show up. All right, I
hmm
can't put that past him. When it's time to nut up or shut up, Lias is there every single time, and he gonna come through. You feel me? He gonna come through. So I give you that. But at the same point, like you just said, some of the times though, he the reason why
He
we
knew
in this
exactly. I was like,
situation.
I can't gloss over that fact. That is a huge fact. He is definitely one of the main proponents. They be getting into shit, but he do also get them out of it. So I'm just saying, like, he
But here
cleaned
we
up his
go.
messes. He cleaned up his messes.
And then we got Senshi over there back there egging them on. God dang. I
Yeah,
guess that got to be my second favorite character. Senshi is a fool.
he is a fool, but he got the what I really like about Suchi is his heart. Like he got a real big heart. He care about everybody. Like, and that it does not detract from his character at all. It's very funny.
Yes, yes. I love that how he likes to, even though these guys aren't technically children, but he was like, you got to watch out for the young ones, the
Once,
kids. You
yeah.
gotta, you gotta make sure, we gotta make sure they all right. If ain't nobody else looking out for them, then who will? You
Mhm.
feel?
Which is just
Gotta
so
love
funny
Senshi.
because, like you said, like none of the people in this party are technically children. It's just the fact that like him and Marcel lived for so long because of their race.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And
that's great. So yeah, definitely Senshi probably my second favorite. Cho-Chuck, he's all right. I don't really too much care for him, but I mean, I don't hate him either, but he's a nice character.
I like. I must say, I like Chill Chuck. I don't like. I Out of the rankings, I guess he would also be kind of like on my lower side, but that's only because honestly, everybody is such a good character in this show. It's really hard to be like just because he's low, I don't doesn't mean I don't like him because I like Chill
Yeah,
Chuck. He's hilarious.
he is.
He's like the straight man of the group, basically. Like everybody, and like even like Marcel is also kind of like a like the no nonsense type person, but even her, she be cracking a bit. So Chilchuck, this is really like the person's like, guys, like you guys are insane. Like we need to be doing X Y. Like he's a hard ass, but he's so fun. Like it's just so funny to see him like get aggravated or like worked up. It is great.
Yeah.
He's also good. That's why I'm like, it's even though he's lower, like he's still really good.
100%. I think one of my favorite moments from Chochuk was towards the end of season one where they switch bodies
Oh my god,
and all that stuff.
that was funny.
And then he was explaining to Marcel, it was like, you see why I be running away during the fight? You
Hmm.
gotta get out the
Get out
way
the
now.
way.
Move.
He said you're too small. You gonna be people gonna be kicking over you, running, tripping. So
It's life or death out here. Yeah, so that was hilarious as well. But yeah, it's just Dungeon and Meshi was a fantastic time, right? I also love like all the little different aspects of the dungeon, like well, the creatures and how they live in the world, right? Because I think we've shown off some new stuff I ain't seen before in a minute. Like for instance, insect coins, fantastic.
oh yeah,
A insects that disguise themselves as
that's coins.
treasure that can trick adventurers coming in. So they will pick them up willingly and then they just kill them, paralyze them. Now soon probably eat their body after that once they paralyze them, right? Because
Hmm.
we found out that that one group B, I'm just gonna call them that for the story we was following along with. They died. They died multiple times, but
Hmm.
they died from the bugs. So I'm assuming they kill them and then eat their body and stuff like that, or lay their eggs in them or whatnot. But it's crazy. I think that was cool. Of course, classic amendments that wasn't nothing new. And then but what was the other thing new? The living armor and then the half horse, half
Oh
griffin
yeah,
type thing. That was crazy.
the hippogriff. I mean, granted, hippogriffs do exist
I
in
never
like myth.
that's new to me. That's new to me. All
Yeah,
right.
and
That was
I
new
was
to
about to say like
me.
the even the coin things. Those are technically like some people like would call those mimic, just call those like a different type of mimic
Mimic,
almost
I guess.
like in different things. But like I did like how they kind of differentiated and were like these are like uh their own thing, their own type of like creature. And one of the reasons why mimics exist is actually so they can eat them because they'll well no mimic coins are like that because they want to crawl inside mimics and then change them.
Yeah,
And then
lay their
people
eggs
will
inside the
yeah.
mimics and stuff.
And then people will go in there thinking, "Oh shoot, I hit the mother load," and really you just found a whole nest
It's
of insect
insect coin
coins.
excellent. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
crazy. But once again, that goes to part of the whole dungeon ecosystem and all that. And it was crazy. Another thing I loved about favorite aspect of the show was Senchi when he was creating those golems just to garden. The man is a
Hmm.
fool. The man is a
Yeah,
fool. I love Senchi, man. Everybody was like, "How these golems even get down here?" Then they started wondering, it was like, "How did he know where the cores are for these golems?" And it just hit him. So
it was like, "Yep, I made
these are
these."
his. No, of course, of course. But yeah, it's fantastic. And then I guess you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Right, one of the main aspects of the show, the cooking of the show. Fantastic. I don't think I've seen. I'm trying to think of if I ever watched any of the other like cooking shows. I think because I didn't like watch Food Wars. I think the closest thing I watched was um technically Dr. Stone because they make food in that, but
Kinda, yeah.
every now and then. But I don't think or campfire cooking in another world. I'm trying to
Also,
see
I was
is
about to say
there something
that's
else.
definitely counts. I would say.
Okay, but yeah, I haven't really watched too many cooking shows like no show that was just about cooking and whatnot. But
Hmm.
the animation for it, fantastic, right? And I'm pretty sure they was basing some of those dishes off like real life dishes, but just putting a little spin on 'em and stuff
Yeah, I
like that.
mean,
But they were cool though.
I was like, I'm pretty sure all of those things were real dishes. They were just monster parts, basically, because like they even had dumplings, and they were like, yeah, we just fill it with. You can fill it with whatever you want. Technically, it like we just are doing it with monsters, or like we made this pasta, but it has it has this meat from this monster in it. So I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, but that was, yeah, they did a great job animating that. They did a great job, I think, like with how they demonstrated preparing the food and like all like the interesting things you had to do to even use the monsters as food, because obviously, like these things aren't normal creatures. Some of them are very close, but you got to do different steps to even like use them in ingredients, right? You got to be cautious. So I loved how they did that too.
100%, 100%. But moving on from there, everybody. So we're gonna get into some of the events that happened in the first season, right? So essentially, the main big events that happened, right? Um,
Hmm.
Going to get back Fallon. So, right, one of the main big things was happening when we first got there to fight the dragon. What did you think about the dragon fight?
I was great. I That was great. I loved every second about that. The fact that they were like, regular weapons can't pierce dragon hide, and so you have to use magic or hit it within like this special like folded inverse scale kind of thing. And so they had to set up all these things, and the plan went to shit, but it's still they were like, okay, but we could use this or like change it on the fly. Like that was, I loved it because it just felt so real the way they did it and tight, like because obviously like this is dragons being like one of like the biggest mythical creature, if not like the Wanda and the mythical creatures, right? Like
Hmm.
obviously you're going to have to like come ready and prepared, and even then it's not a guarantee how well you're
100%.
gonna do against it. So I thought I really loved it.
Yeah, the dragon fight was amazing. I thought we was gonna lose one of the members for a second there in exchange to save Fallon.
Hmm.
But thankfully, it didn't happen like that. But I guess technically wouldn't have lost. Well, no, we already learned that if their body is messed up to a certain extent, then their soul will just be a soul, but they won't have a body to come back to. And then that's
Hmm.
why old girl had to end up using black magic to bring Fallon back, unfortunately. So yeah, that is a thing. So yeah, I thought we was gonna lose somebody, right? To
Hmm.
end up saving Fallon, but thankfully we didn't, and it looked like almost for a minute, Lice was gonna lose his arm, but thankfully, the magic in this work even, break can not only also restore life, but restore appendages and stuff as well as so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
dope.
I figured if there was like killing magic that could technically like bring back a person from the dead, there would be like killing magic that could reattach limbs or regenerate stuff. It just probably like depends on how good or effective you could be with it. Because even, well, they even showed like Marcel when she tried to heal Laos's leg, right? He was like, "This is painful," or like when she was healing since she's broken bone, since she's in Shosho's broken bones, like it hurt them. But when Fallon, who specializes in healing magic, came back, they were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Yeah, that was hilarious too. That was nice. And then another aspect of the speaking of the red jacket before we leave. So also, the scene where the fuel sack exploded because of course, they was digging into his guts and everything, and all the fuel was spewing out of there. I can't remember who set the fire, but somebody lit a fire.
Senshi, it was Senshi.
Yeah.
He was gonna prepare
Yeah, he was
food.
trying. There we go. It was time to cook, and then yeah, there we go. Since you went to prepare.
Hmm.
Oh man, it's just like just small details like that, right? Just paying attention to the story, whoever the author is, I'm not sure who it is, but just the author is paying attention to small details like that. Just beautiful, nice.
Yep.
Going to do an everyday activity that we doing almost essentially every episode, right? Cook food, but now this one almost killed. It was technically we almost die almost every time we cook dinner, but hey, look, no, that's the risk you got to take sometimes, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, again, that this they're in a dungeon. It only do so much.
That's the risk you got to take sometimes. I'm surprised ain't none of them got food poison yet from eating anything, which is very surprising.
I
So
mean, they got the Laos got that book, and since
that
you've
well
been
he does.
and since she has been technically has been down there for years, so like
You
They
know what I just thought about? I've been thinking to myself, where the hell has Lyos got this book from? And it would be hilarious if we found out that Senchi wrote that goddamn book.
I don't. I mean, it would be funny if it turned out that that it was related to Cici. I honestly was thinking. I mean, based on what we got to see near the end of the show, with the fact that like the dungeon was originally like a kingdom of sorts, that it could have been that it might be someone in the kingdom have wrote it, and somehow Leos just got his hands on it because a different adventurer found that and was like, "This is crazy. Why the fuck would we eat monsters?"
You mean somebody from
And
the Golden Kingdom? That's what you're talking about.
mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Okay,
imagine.
yeah, that would make sense too. It could have been an artifact from one of them. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then some other adventurer found it and like sold it off because he was like, "Why the fuck am I gonna eat a monster?"
Yeah. Why would I need this? Right? Let me
Yeah,
just some weirdo might find this useful.
and some weirdo did, and that's how we got here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but especially learning Senshi's backstory and realizing that he'd been stuck in the dungeon for about a decade now, right? And even though like he
Well,
could have left, right? But well, he hasn't been stuck in it, but
that's what I said. Like he technically found a way out. He just
yeah,
decided
he
to.
just chose to live there after a
Mhm.
while because he figured, who would take care of the dungeon and who would,
Well,
watch
it
out for
was.
the new adventures that's going to be start coming into the dungeon and all that. And
Well,
he also felt guilty as well
yeah, I was
for
about to
his
say it
lost
was.
comrades.
Yeah, he was about to say it was more of like he wasn't sure if he could go back home, knowing like not knowing how he even survived. Like the aspect of one of the reasons he may have survived was cannibalism. Like, how the fuck do I come back
Which is
after
crazy.
that?
I thought they listen. I, I thought Dungeon Meshi was going down a dark path for a second.
I was like,
Which it did though. It did go down a dark
technically,
path, but I
I was
thought
like,
it
we
was going
technically already
down a
went there. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
even
no,
worse.
in
And
my
even
opinion, so you can't tell me. Well, no, old boy did say the Griffin was the one that was eating the other gnomes and stuff. Okay, I was about to say you can't tell me if some of them gnomes he didn't eat, but yeah, he did say,
the
okay,
Griffin, yeah.
I guess.
Hmm.
I guess. But man, it was looking crazy there for a second. I was about to say no. I just can't believe it. Like, how are you still sane down here? Since you should be losing your mind right now, but somehow he still was pushing on. He has the sanity somehow. I guess just taking care of the dungeon helped him out with that and helping out adventures and stuff. But still, man, that would break down a lot of other people though, man.
Yeah, yeah. I get. That's why I was like, I completely understand if you did not want to go home after that. Like, how would you face people and be like, yeah, I'm cool. I didn't eat nobody. What? So
Oh man, but
yeah, but
then there you go. You can continue.
oh, I was just gonna say that like we technically did hit like a dark spot in the show. Granted, I mean it wasn't cannibalism, but like to touch on the Mad Mage,
There you go.
uh,
That's where I was going next.
like he apparently is looking for his lost king, who might be dead by this point, probably, and he's willing to do anything to do it to the point where
well,
he changing people into monsters. What?
I thought he was looking for the prince. Was he not?
Well, Well, when I say king, I meant more like eventually that title transfers after your dad dies. So
Well, yeah,
like
I guess. Well, yeah, yeah, I
that's
feel
where I
you.
was coming
The
from.
new king. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes,
Okay, I'm picking
essentially,
up what you're putting down.
yeah, I was about to say essentially the prince, basically, right?
Yeah,
Um, and he's willing to do anything to the point where like he created the dungeon
that he
and
did.
is using this dark magic to create monsters or
That he
turn
is.
people into monsters, like he did with
He is doing that as well.
Fallon. To perpetuate his goal, and God only like the fates
He's
know
also
really
taking
can it happen.
he's also technically keeping the villagers of the Golden Village captive as well. So
Yes,
there's
yes,
that as
their
well.
souls. He's keeping their souls alive because he thinks once he finds the prince, everything can be brought back to normal for some reason. um, yeah, that I mean, it was interesting because like Fallon's transformation was almost it wasn't I won't say it was like fully played for laughs, but it was very funny when Marcia was like, "Whoa, girl!" Hey. Like when she started like stripping, I was oh okay, all right. But like
Calm down.
that in and of itself was kind of dark because it was just like she didn't even fully know like Like, what? She just came back, like, just got her friends and technically her brother back, and was like, and I'm a monster thing,
Now I'm a
subservient
part
to,
dragon.
yeah, subservient to this mage I didn't even start shit with.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Then another thing, it would also be funny if we found out that Laios has something to do with why the king is missing, due to him going back into those paintings, even though it didn't look like he did
Yeah,
much.
I was about to say,
But it would be funny if his presence somehow affected something, right? It would be
yeah, I
hilarious.
mean, it'd be interesting because it didn't look like. Well, I don't know. You know, I was about to say it didn't look like those pictures, like whatever he did in those paintings had permanent effect. But the fact that the Mad Mage
Remember that he was there.
remembered that he was
Mm,
there, maybe it does have like some type of like permeation or what, like maybe it does have like small time bendy rules or something attached to it. So it would be
mhm.
interesting to find that out.
Yeah, because he was there at the birth of, because like they were very
The
important scenes, right? The
Yes.
birth of the prince, the death of
Uh,
somebody. I believe it was the king or something. No, it wasn't the king. It was the death of somebody, but somebody like died at one of these parties that was there, right? And
I
then
think it was the previous king or something. Like their great granddad. I don't know. It was someone important though. I'll
yes,
say that.
somebody important died. But I would say I was gonna say it couldn't have been the king, because the king, the stories that everybody was talking about, they saw the king die as he was coming out of the dungeon and stuff like that. So it wasn't that person. It was
Hmm.
somebody else. But like I said, somebody important, right? And then there was one more scene after that. They was talking about, I think it was a marriage maybe or something that was going on,
Yeah, I
or
think
it
it
was
sounded
a
like a marriage.
coordination that was going on. Maybe it was the coordination of the next king. It was something going on. I can't remember exactly, but they
Hmm.
were all each moment was very important moment in whatever history was going on with the black mage, right? Well, the mad mage, not the black mage. This is Maple Story. With the mad mage.
Yeah, basically. So Leos affecting that would be funny. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Mad Mage is interesting. I didn't think was gonna get to see the Dungeon Master this season, but after once we started seeing, like, going through the in live pictures, I think that's what it was called, right?
Hmm.
Whatever. But that's
Living
when I
pictures, I
started
think.
I
Yeah.
started putting it together. I was like, he might be the dungeon master, right? Because why is this the only other person that's look like they're
Acknowledge. Yeah.
acknowledging Lyos's existence inside of this picture right now? Then of course he got kicked out at the end. I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know who. I didn't even think that was the dungeon master at first. I just thought that was like a potentially like a character that would be important later. I didn't know, like, I didn't have like an inkling of like who it could have been until I think until they started talking about the fact that like there's a mad mage that kind of like created this thing, and he has some like the history the he has like he knows secrets to dark magic that like are lost to time or whatever. I was like, well, I mean, there was that one guy.
There's that one guy. I might know a person, but yeah, then it was, then of course, when he popped up to turn Fallon into the Red Dragon and all that,
Mm,
it was self
cause yep,
explanatory.
cemented.
And then also, when he attacked the group as well, so it was just like, oh, okay, that's dope. But yeah, I just didn't expect was gonna get to actually see the Dungeon Master end this first season, because I figured defeating him will be the end goal, of course, which is still technically is the end
You
goal,
go,
right?
yeah.
But I just didn't expect to see him in the first season. And also another thing, what I was thinking about, well, I guess I might be wrong, but I did think that Kabaru, the leader of the Group B, I thought he was the prince for a second.
I did think that as well for a second, because I was just like, I don't know why we're introducing this character originally, like without if they didn't have like some type of connection. But I do like his at or like the thought of the story of like him trying to become like a leader of this nation because he witnessed what happens if like a dungeon grows out of control
Hmm.
under the wrong supervision. So I do like that aspect of the character because I was like, yeah, of course you'd have people like this if dungeons are a thing that naturally happens, right? So
Hmm. Yep. If they're not excuse me, if they're not tend to and taken care of, they will go out of control, and any nearby villages will be ransacked and raided by all the overflowing monsters,
yeah, so
and
I can't.
eventually, of course, destroyed.
Yeah, his he's a really interesting character, so I hope to see him again as the series progresses too. So
Of course, I would like to still have hope in Copium that he is the prince somehow, right? Because like I said, he feels like such an important character to the story. Even after like the Mad Mage is defeated, look like he still is gonna have some effect on it because he wants to he already like you said, he wants to rule this nation, right? And he thinks Laios was gonna be the one who actually defeats the Mad Mage, but he's already plotting how the hell he's gonna take down Laios after he does that, right?
yeah,
So
because he's just like Laos is a good person, but he does not seem like a leader. Which again, fair. But only time will tell if they actually have to come to blows or not, though. So
Yeah, man, he does seem dangerous, even though he has already done died multiple times. For
yeah,
a
I was
guy
about to say
that does seem dangerous,
he
he has
says
already been taken out a few times.
as he says his party ain't really that good of a party, but like
That's
I
also
have
another thing that made me think, but maybe he's not the prince because this man done got off so many times already.
yeah, I was about to say
But
like
they could just be using that to throw us off as well, though.
that's what I was about to say. I was like, I think probably later in the series he might show like that he's actually kind of a lot more than people expect. Trying to think what else to cover. Oh, and I guess lastly, we could just talk about like um how do I'm forgetting the name. I typed it. Hold on. Oh, Izutsumi, who joined up with them, the cat
Hmm.
person. So like at first I wasn't sure how I felt about the character because I was just like,
100%.
I mean, I was like, you're kind of annoying. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I don't know like where you fit in all this. I wasn't sure, but as it's progressing, I kind of say, oh, because this is supposed to be like their more agile attacker. I'm assuming like type of thing,
Hmm.
but also at the same time, like this is the character that is going to have like probably a lot of character growth by the time they actually meet back up with Fallon again. They're going to have like a lot more to
Yeah.
do, right? Like that's obviously the setup.
100%. For me, when I first saw that, I was just like, "Why are you still here?" Right? But then, of
Hmm
course, you find out. But I was like, "Why the hell are you still here?" And then I was like, "I hope she don't really mess up the whole comedy aspect of what we got going on in Dungeon Meshi, right? Because adding another character that could be kind of, it could
That's
mess
the
up the flow of
flow.
things.
Yep.
But only time will tell. I don't think I hate her so far. It seems like she
I've,
might be almost like, and really the parts of the aspects where I'm saying where I hope she does mess up is the comedy aspects of when we're cooking food and making dinner stuff like that. Right? Is every time we make a new dish, is she just gonna be, oh, fuck you, Sinji. I'm not finna eat that, right? Even though
yeah.
technically that's how Fallon is, but not Fallon, Marcel is, but she's in it. Marcel does it in a more hysterical way. You should assume she's really like, oh no, fuck you, big dog,
Yeah.
right?
I get you. I get you because that would derail it, like right. So, but I mean, so far I don't. Like I said, when she first joined, I was just like, you're kind of. I don't like whiny characters, and you're kind of feeling that right now. But she has started to like, even with her short time with the group, she's started to develop more into like
Yes.
more than just that. So I'm actually interested to see kind of like where they take her. But
Yeah. And then it also does seems great that since she's taking account that she's already he already realized that she's a picky eater, so
either so
he's
it's
like, I gotta
changing.
make sure I'm extra even more extra careful now about what I'm cooking because now I
Mhm.
got an extra mouth that's a picky eater in the group. But he don't care. He gonna listen. He's still gonna shift up every time.
He gonna feed these kids, okay?
he
He
gonna
gonna feed.
feed he gonna feed these kids.
Yeah, but with that, like, what was I gonna say? The only thing, and I like this is kind of like the last thing I have to say about Dungeon Meshi before I wrap it up,
Hmm.
is the only thing I probably say like that deters Dungeon Meshi, and when I say deter, I just mean like kind of ruins it, quote unquote, if you
Hmm.
can even say that, is probably I when it ended, I thought there was going to be another episode because it did not feel like you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't feel like an ending episode, like a way you end off a season
There we go.
almost.
Okay, so you was mad as well too. I
I don't know if I
thought,
was mad. I was
okay,
just
so me,
confused.
no, I was mad because I thought we was at least gonna get to see the next zone before like they went like kept off the screen, almost like some Breath of the Wild type shit. They just walk into the new zone,
Yeah.
and then the screen goes black. That's what
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be, but we just riding on this trolley into the darkness. I'm just like, that's not. I don't know how I feel about that. This being the last thing I see, right? I don't know.
I was like, after all, I mean, like, granted, I was like, I liked the transformation episode. It was funny. It was good. It was nice. But I was just like, does that really feel like a cliffhanger episode? Like, is that where
Is
you
this
want
how
to?
we gonna end it?
Yeah, I was like, is that where you want to end the season? But again, it's still a good episode. I was just very much like, I felt like there was like one more that was
Oh
about to
yeah,
happen.
100%. Yeah, like I said, I thought we was at least gonna see the next place was gonna be for the next season, right? That's what I
Mhm.
thought how it was good. That's how I felt like it should have ended at least. But I'm not the writer, so it
I mean,
is what it is at the end of the day.
you gotta pick a healthy place to, I guess, like stop animate. And
Well, that too, yeah.
so I guess they just decided to do that. But I was very much like, are we sure there's nothing? I had to go look because I was like, I just feel like there was at
I
least
mean,
one
season
more.
2 has been announced.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, like, I know there was more story, but I'm just saying,
Oh
like,
yeah.
in terms of a cliffhanger type episode,
Oh, okay.
it
Like,
didn't
is it
feel
was
like,
this? Yeah, he was like,
yeah.
Did we get all this chapter? Was there something?"
I was just like, are we sure we like they want to end it? Because I was just like, in my head, I was almost like, y'all probably should have ended it if we were going to end it in the middle of something. We probably should have ended it after they found the after they met with the ghost and were brought back in time and kind of got their explanation. Like, because that would have been in my mind at least.
But
Because
that
before
was
they could,
before the Griffin thing, though. So you was want to skip the whole Griffin
was that
part?
before Griffin?
It
I thought
was when they went to the Golden Village.
when they learned that there used to be a city where they raised monsters. I thought that was
Yeah,
after.
yeah, no, that was before they went and fought the Griffin and all that. Because
Oh shit, my bad.
after they left the village, is they dropped them into the
Because
place where the Griffin was at.
well, no, because remember Leos when Leos he stopped ignoring that ghost. I thought is when they got pulled into the past. Remember,
Correct.
because
That's when they got
but
That's
that was after Fallon and everything.
yes, that was
Because
after Fallon, but that was before the Griffin.
oh, I see what. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, when you said Griffin, I was thinking of Fallon's cockatrice form.
I,
I don't know why. My bad. My bad. My bad.
no, I'm not referring to her. Even though that scene was crazy too when Fallon pulled up to slaughter everybody. But even then, there was technically no consequence because everybody just got revived, right?
Yeah.
But she slaughtered everybody though.
Yeah. My bad. Oh man. Huh. That is a good question. Would I have preferred to have waited the second season to find that out, or
That's what I'm saying. Because then that also had Senshi's backstory in
that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's a good point.
it.
Fuck. Never mind. Maybe there was no good place to end it. Maybe they just had to do what they had to do. I feel it.
I feel it. Maybe we could have ended it after the Senshi backstory episode. Maybe we don't get the the last episode we got. Maybe that's the first episode of new season. Right?
Yeah, maybe that could have been it. Because that would have been a funny note to start on. So yeah, man, good show. Can't wait for season 2. That's all I got.
Because then, it would have been like technically starting off right with exactly where we left off, still dealing with like some of the changeling stuff as well from the previous season. It would have been. They could have did that, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, I was a little upset that it ended where it ended as well. I was also a little upset
Yep.
because, like you said, it was just such a fantastic time. Me personally, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it this much, but I was like, you know what, you little motherfuckers are growing on me, like.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think when the manga was like not gaining popularity, but like when it was coming out, like I had heard about it, and I think I checked out like the first chapter, and I was like, it wasn't like it was bad or anything. It just was like, I don't know, like this doesn't really feel special to me, almost like because it does. I don't know if the manga and the anime start the same way, but I was very much like,
Okay.
this didn't feel like something I hadn't seen before, so I kind of just like, I'll come back to it, really, and then obviously I didn't because
Well, it
there's
just could be
there's
one of
always
those.
huh?
No, I'm sorry. What was you about to say?
I was just gonna say that, there's always a million different stories to check out, and you just
Oh yeah, of course.
if you sometimes if you don't start some if you don't keep going when you start something, it might not ever get like complete.
Yeah. No, I feel you there, but it also could be one of those moments where the anime just improves the source material. So
Yeah, Yeah, they definitely could also
It
be
could
true.
be one of those moments as well because I do think you can see the love that not only just the animators put into the show but the voice actors as well, right? Just
Mhm.
from top to bottom production of the show, you can see the love put into it, right, from everybody.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. All right. Well, with that, everyone, that was our Delicious and Dungeon review. Please let us know down in the comments below what you all thought of Delicious and Dungeon if you had a chance to check it out. And if you
Oh,
haven't,
well, before we head out, is it still an 8 out of 10 for you? Did this
yeah, I
discussion
still
bump
think
it? Okay,
yeah, I still think it's 8 out of 10 for me.
okay,
Um,
same here.
yeah. So, all right, with that, go and hand it off to Ace so he can introduce us into his favorite topic of the episode.
You already know my favorite topic, baby. It's time, everybody, for GOC News, your weekly source for your favorite anime news. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. Not much news for today, but I will start off this with news, everybody. So, Anime NYC just ended recently on this August the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mhm.
surprisingly and unfortunately, at the same time, not a lot of exciting, important news actually came out of Anime NYC. But if you actually went to Anime NYC, I hope you had a great time, though. Right? I
Yeah,
hope it was a fun event. But as far as like anime news though, nothing really much came out of it though. So really there's nothing really much to cover from that part of it,
yeah.
unfortunately though.
It looked like there was a lot of early premieres and stuff, but me and Ace, we didn't go, so we didn't see it, so we can't talk about it. But for those that did, I'm pretty sure they're probably have said online like how much they've liked XYZ, because I think like they had an early showing of Dan Dan, Shangri-La Frontier, and the new Terminator anime coming out. So you can probably find stuff online about like how well people receive those, but
Correct.
yeah, not too much besides that.
But all right, everybody. So let's get into some general news here that's going on. So start us off here. The for manga news, everybody. So the my not the My Hero, the Hunter x Hunter manga, everybody, is going to be resuming here on Weekly Shonen Jump on October the 7th, as well as the Dragon Ball Super manga is going to be returning soon as well. There was an interview
Hmm.
with Toya Tora, and he's mentioned that the manga will be returning soon.
Yep. It's good to hear that Dragon Ball will still be continuing. R.I.P. Akira, obviously, but like it's good to see that the story itself his legacy will continue with the story and stuff like that. So,
Of course, of course.
with that, there's also some interesting news. For those who were fans of the Suicide Squad Isekai that came out this season, apparently it's getting a webtoon on August. Actually, by this recording, it got one on August 25th.
All right.
So an anime spun off a webtoon. Usually it's the other way around, but hey, you know. After that, there's news of a Gundam Breaker Battlelog anime is going to be returning to YouTube with English subtitles. So for Gundam fans, you can go ahead and check that out on the Gundam YouTube channel. A new series is out on there. Oh well, not new, but they're continuing / wrapping up a series in English subtitles on that YouTube channel. So I'll go ahead and check
That
that
is
out.
correct. And then rounding this off here for general news, everybody, Netflix is set to add the Grave of the Fireflies anime film on September the 16th. And then last but not least, everybody, the highly acclaimed Jujutsu Kaisen manga is gonna be nearing its end here, everybody. We got word that is gonna be the final chapter will be released on September 30th,
Well,
everybody.
I
So
don't. Is it okay? So hold on. Wait. I maybe misinterpreted that sentence because the headline for the article is Jujutsu Kaisen manga ends in 5 chapters on September 30th, and I thought that meant like on September 30th the fifth chapter comes out, and then they got like four more. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misinterpreted it.
Maybe so. We'll have to do some double checking, everybody, and we'll come back next week and give you an update on that. But nonetheless, the manga for JJK is definitely nearing its end, and it should be ending around the end of September, maybe
Mhm.
even like that beginning of December here, around that time. Of Weekly Shonen Jump, those weeks right there. The final week of September and the first week of December. Around the one of those weeks should be the end of JJK here. But we will be doing some fact checking, and we'll keep you guys
Oh no.
updated
Okay.
as these weeks go on.
So
Oh wait, no live fact check,
yeah,
everybody.
live
Hold
fact checking.
on.
So according to Crunchyroll news,
There we go.
Jujutsu Kaisen will Ace. You had it correct. I misinterpreted
Okay.
it. It is set to end by September 30th.
Oh, there you go.
It
Well, all
just
right.
has 5 chapters. Whoever wrote the title of the goddamn article, I needs to see me because I just wish they would have separated
Yeah.
that.
Well, all right. There we go. Straight from Crunchyroll News. The final chapter for JJK will be released on September
September
30th
5th.
in the
Yeah,
weekly
it
show
has.
in the weekly Shonen Jump.
It's just at the time I think of the article's publishing, which was August 19th. It had 5. It has 5. It had 5 chapters left. Basically, is
Yeah.
what it is. And the last chapter will come out on September 30th. I just don't know why they wrote it like that. I
Like
just
that.
because I
Like
feel
they
like
were
the
saying the 5 chapters was gonna start on September. I
September
get what you're
30th.
saying. Yeah. But overall though, now we got, we got a clarification there. What do you think about that? Because the My Hero manga literally just ended like, what, two,
It's
3 weeks ago. So, the JJK manga is ending right around the same time. Even though I think JJK did start around the same time as My Hero, maybe like 2 years after My Hero started up, something like that, maybe, right?
yeah. I think they
Um,
came out around. I mean, from what I believe they came out around the same time.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I
it,
mean, we was talking about this with the end of the My Hero manga, just another end to an era. What are your thoughts?
it's interesting. I might primarily because like so a lot for us, me and you, Ace. I mean, you got the One Piece hat on, so uh, a lot of like the anime we grew up with lasted years. Like I like from when we were like early teenagers to
Yeah.
adults.
Yeah,
So
it kind of feels strange that
so yeah, it's
how
just
fast some of these are just coming and going.
yeah, and it's so like it's very just interesting to see how um this stuff is progressing. Like it's just very interesting to see how we are moving through some of these series because like we are used like I was like older manga series used to like last for a while. I mean, One
Hmm.
Piece obviously still going on. And
Boy, One Piece so crazy right now. We got 4 mediums going on damn near. We
about yeah, I was about to say about to get a remake. And the original ain't even done. So
Which
like
is
it's just
crazy that like that's not even something that's heard of. Like, how the hell you gonna have a remake of your series when the original even ended? But in this case, it is a special case for One Piece because it's so old, right?
yeah.
So the original came back in the 1990s, something. Well, I think 1998, 97, something like that. But
Yeah, so it's just interesting. I'll say that. Besides that, though, I am from the people who are reading the manga. It is very interesting to see their reactions because they're just like, "Gege, if you end this in 5 chapters, is there another series?" Because they say there's a lot of questions that are unanswered right now. So
um,
they're really interested to see what comes next in these 5 chapters. No spoilers for the because me and Ace are anime only.
please,
Um,
please, please, and also, yeah, they go ahead for the not to mention for the animes only's out there. Go ahead and get your social medias ready. Start blocking words and stuff like that. So go ahead, prepare it now, right? Because the ending is coming. If you don't want to be, spoiled on it, I'm gonna go ahead and take precautionaries on all of our social media devices as well. Not social media devices, social media accounts, and see if we can help prevent this as well. Because I don't want to be spoiled either. I don't want to be spoiled either. So definitely, go ahead and take your precautions to not be spoiled by the ending here because it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner.
yeah.
100%.
Okay. All right. So with that, there's only one series for new series today. Some of you may have seen it by now, but recently there was a trailer released for a series called The Range Ranger Becomes an Adventure in Another World. Um, Originally it was a manga, so and it's getting a TV anime come January 2025. From the trailer, this shit looks hilarious. It is legit as if you dropped a character from Power Rangers into a fantasy world, and they seem to still have all their abilities.
It
Granted,
does
we
look funny.
granted we have not seen if they kept the Megazord or not, but if they did, even more
Even better.
hilarious.
Even better. Even better.
so, so this
I'm
seems
actually hoping they kept the Megazord.
Megazord. Yes, I same. But this looks like it's going to be a good one. Especially with like how well was it Go Go Loser Ranger went. I would not be surprised if this also is like surprise catches some people off guard and is actually just a really entertaining show. Because from the trailer, it already looks like it. So
100%.
yeah.
100%.
And then
All right,
Lastly, here.
everybody, and
Oh,
then to round us
good.
out here for some new information on some upcoming releases, everybody. I'm starting us off with some movie announcements, everybody. The Overlord anime movie, The Sacred Kingdom, will be coming to North America theaters on November the 8th, everybody. So for all your Overlord fans, make sure you find a theater near you. If you're in a rural area, go to a city and watch it, everybody. All right, there's no excuse. Get out there.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Overlord film, especially. Besides that, some of you may have guessed this, but they decided they've done it, people.
They done did it.
They've
They
done
done
it.
did it.
They've decided to put the Attack on Titan final chapter episodes and combine them and make it into the an anime movie titled The Final Chapter: The Last Attack. So for Attack on Titan fans, I don't know. In the article slash like announcement for this, it did not say if this was coming to theaters or if this is just gonna be like a special repackaged, streaming re-release or something.
It's coming
Uh,
to theaters.
it's coming to theaters. Oh, okay.
It's
I was about
coming
to say
to
like
theaters.
other.
It's coming to theaters. Let me tell you, Mappa saw you foldable announced the trilogy movie for Demon Slayer, and they said, "Hold my beer."
Well, this is. I mean, from the way it looked online, this is just one singular film.
Yes, it's one singular film, yes, but still.
So
But yes, it's one singular film. Essentially, it's going to be a rendition of those, those final two chapters that was basically like movies that they did. They're just going to put them together and
mhm.
do a theatrical release.
Yep.
So I mean, if you're really a Attack on Titan fan, you just want to go see it on the big screen just because you can. Well, I mean, it should be good. I mean, Attack on
Well, they
Titan,
did.
IMAX, surround sound. I mean, it should be good.
And I was
And
about to
then
say they did
and
say
also, I believe they said the scenes were remastered as
yeah.
well for the IMAX and stuff like that. So it should be nice and crisp.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, they did say it was gonna be remastered. So I mean, if you're a theater fan, if you're a person that likes going to the movies, this is probably like a great
That as well.
announcement for you. For
Hmm.
some people, you're probably like, this is a cash grab. You're absolutely correct.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
But all I'll
But I
say is,
mean,
cash grabs can be fun.
that they can. That they can.
Cash grabs can be fun.
Sometimes you just got to give the people what they want,
Yeah.
even though ain't nobody asked for this. But
Hey.
here we are. We are. All right. But moving on from there, in the next rendition of more cores for the anime industry, we got Dr. Stone that's going to be premiering their final season in 2025, and it's going to be split into three cores. Now I know that cores have become famous here in the in the anime industry recently. I'm not sure if it's easier for easier work environment. I don't know what's going on with that, but
I
however you
have to
guys want to do
assume,
it.
yeah.
But nonetheless, three cores, I don't know. Because even when they announced Bleach to be four, the way they doing this core is okay. I'll let y'all have that. It's because it's basically just 4 seasons at this point. It's really not four different cores. The way that Bleach is doing it is basically four different seasons,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
In this case, I don't know. Why are we splitting the final season? Unless there's just a lot of content in this final season. Why are we splitting this
It
into
could.
three cores?
Well, if it's anything like how they're doing Bleach, it could be like for that. It could be for the reason like the last season they're giving their all in terms of like animation style because like Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, they are like, hey man, we were so invested in this shit, we created a new studio. Like we are that invested into giving y'all high quality ass animation that we created a new studio, and that studio's covering the last two cores. Like, so it could be something like that. It could just be like they are really going all out for the last bit of this.
For the last bit of it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be. And so, but to make sure it's animated to the best of his ability, just split it up into three cores and just go out with a bang. That could be the case, and I hope that is the case, right? Dr. Stone's this season wasn't as good as the previous season, in my opinion, but it was still a good one nonetheless, though. But I do think the previous one before it does have its number. But I am excited for the final season of Dr. Stone, though. But moving on to some more news, everybody, the Blue Lock season 2 is scheduled for October 5th, and it is listed for 14 episodes. Everybody, it's going to be the UA Blue Lock versus the U20 Japan team. Everybody, that's look like that's going to be the the focus of season 2 here. Essentially, the cliffhanger we got left off on from season 1.
And
so
if
here we are.
And if you saw the Nagi movie, they also tease it. Basically, they tease this season at the end of the movie.
Okay, I
Um,
have not. I did not get a chance to see the Naga movie,
yes.
unfortunately. Hopefully,
Also,
hopefully they put it on Crunchyroll before the season drops.
I won't lie, that was also a cash grab, but it was fun. That's what like I went to go. I legitimately like. I kind of want to go to a movie. This is here. Let me go see it. It was good. I think I said it when I saw it. It was a good time. It was a good time, people.
There you
And
go.
when it comes to streaming, I highly recommend checking it
There you
out.
go.
And then last but not least, for upcoming future releases, I know this is a somewhat popular isekai. Afurueta from Commonplace to the World's Strongest is getting a third season, and it's coming out on October 14th. So for those fans of Afurueta, third season will be coming out again on October 14th. So look forward to these future releases, guys.
That is correct. And so that is the end of GLC News, everybody. Let us know down below in the comments what was your favorite piece of news. And we're going to be going ahead and give out this week's weekly recommendation before we head on to our last topic, everybody. So take it away, McMillian.
Yep. So this week's weekly recommendation is Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. This is also, if I'm not mistaken, this is anime was created in part by the creator of Attack on Titan, and I believe it's also directed by the same person who directed it. But basically, just a quick synopsis. At a time when the Industrial Revolution was carrying the world into the modern age, a horde of undead monsters suddenly appeared. They cannot be killed unless their hearts, which were protected by a layer of iron, were pierced. These undead, which would later be known as the Kabane, exploded in population until they finally overran the world. The people of Hinamoto built fortresses known as stations that have allowed them to survive the threat of the Kabane. Um, Ikoma, I hope I said that right, is a young steamsmith living at Arangane Station, working on developing a unique anti-Kabane weapon called a piercing gun. This series has one season and two movies. It is dubbed and subbed in multiple languages. You can find it all on Crunchyroll. This shit is just really cool, killing, interesting zombie type show with like
That it is.
steampunk s well not even steampunk s steampunk Japan basically. Like there's legitimately I think the one of the movies is about the train that they build. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like Mingyu said, it's just basically a classic zombie story. It definitely does have. It feels like it takes some inspiration from Attack on Titan. When you because when you watch the show, you basically get some of those what's the word I'm looking for? Feelings from it. That's not the word
Yeah.
I'm looking for, but it's been a long night. I'm sorry, everybody.
References?
But references and just
Maybe
like
that
themes.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
Themes.
themes.
There we go. Thank you.
Definitely.
Here
I
we
would
go.
agree with that.
Some of the same things that you get in AOT. But yeah, it's a nice show. And like we said, there's only one season out. I do. This is one of those shows where I do think we should maybe have gotten at least one or two more seasons for it because I did enjoy it
I
when I
mean,
saw it.
did you watch the
Uh-huh.
movies? Because
I did not.
I think
Well, I
I'm
believe
pretty
I saw
sure
one of them.
I'm pretty sure the last movie wraps up the story. I think. Now I could
Well,
be
I
a
might
liar.
have to check that out then because
I
I
could be
don't
a,
know about that.
I could be like, it's been a minute since I watched this show. Honestly, because this is technically brought by me, this weekly recommendation is technically brought by me and Alex. I almost forgot about this series. But when he mentioned it again, I was like, man, maybe I should go back and watch it because I remember really enjoying it, but I can't seem to remember the ending. Like, so.
Yeah,
But it's a good watch. So for the
it was.
just again, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress has one season, two movies, all on Crunchyroll, dubbed and subbed in multiple languages for your viewing pleasure.
That is correct.
And with
All
that,
right, thank you for that, McMillian. And now we're gonna be heading on to our last discussion of the day, everybody. Our featured show for the summer 2024 season, everybody. My Hero Academia. We're gonna be reviewing episode 151 and 152. So that's a chain of events across the ages and together with Shoji.
Shoji.
And just like I said last episode, everybody, we got a classic you say run moment and then 151. We got another classic you say run moment in 151. It was the beginning of the Shigaraki versus
Madara
Deku,
fight.
or Deku technically versus All For One. Shigaraki, I guess they look like they haven't
The
fully
villain.
fused yet, so we new villains. We might have there might be a new name
The
that they
hero.
might get later on.
The hero
But
versus
right now,
the villain.
Deku versus Shigaraki, and our boy Deku revealed his last power from One For All, and it's
Gear
something.
shift.
There you
That
go.
shit raw as fuck.
Raw as hell. Raw as hell. Even though it's essentially almost like just a speed boost in nature, right? But
I mean, technically yes, but
it's more
also
than just that because he
yeah.
can de-accelerate and or accelerate anything that he touches, including himself.
So
All right. So it's cool. You know, once again, you know, you get to see the evolving form of the different powers of One for All throughout the years. And you know, the previous user of One for All explained it. He was like, you know, my powers is no different from everybody else's. It evolved as well. You know, it used to be something simple. You
simple.
know,
It can
I
only
can
affect small
affect small
objects.
objects, but now look at me. Look at it. Look at us, right?
hmm I I'm not gonna lie to you. Watching Deku pull off the combos he did by combining all of the all of the one for all quirks, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
He going crazy. He going crazy.
when
Deku
he
was going
when
crazy.
Shigaraki thought he pulled a reversal and Deku gear shifted and slowed him down,
Yes,
and
that's what
there
I was like. Oh, I was like, hey, he could de-accelerate himself. I was like, oh, look at
I was like, oh my, I was like, yo, this shit. Now the only thing is, I'm wondering what the neg is on it or something, because the previous user said if you do this, you can only have
Only got
like
5 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. So maybe it might have been a time limit thing, or maybe because it's so strong now compared to what it was, like the heightened ability can only work for 5 minutes,
hmm
right? Because you know, it's not what it used to be. Because he has, as he said, it used to only work on small objects, but now you know, of course, we can see it does way more than that now, right? So,
Yeah,
maybe because of that, the evolution of it and this new powers that comes with maybe a time limit, or maybe that
I'm just.
time limit could just be because you know Midoriya is still new to using it, right?
hmm I'm just worried because like based on how the fight ended, it looked like something's about to happen with the evolution of Shigaraki's body even more so.
This ain't over. We are you are
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
right.
obviously, I knew this was gonna be the end of the fight, but I'm just like, if Deku's body is ruined from using gear shift, like in any, like if it's like a
Yeah, I get what if it's like a if he takes a debuff essentially after
yeah, if
this.
it's like
Yeah.
Kaioken or Super Saiyan, basically, where after you come out of the transformation, you are like
If
severely,
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, and I'll say this because once I heard the whole gear shift thing, it really made me think about One Piece in a sense, and it could be a homage to One Piece in a sense.
I mean, I definitely, it definitely seems like some of the One for All quirks are exactly that, because Black Whip, especially after the fucking movie, I'm like, that is basically, you basically wanted to give Deku Spider-Man powers, but like you didn't want to give him webs. Like that is basically what I'm seeing here. So I do not doubt that Gear Shift could very well be a homage to One Piece.
But yeah, but in all the different gears and stuff that Luffy has, and then also with the drawback because at first and still in some cases, you know when Luffy uses his gears and stuff like that, right? That he has different drawbacks and stuff that affects him as well. So it could be that type of situation as well. And that could be one of the things that kind of extends this fight because as you mentioned, I'm pretty sure that 5 minutes ain't gonna do it, right? So now that this 5 minutes is up, where do we go? Where do we go from here, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not gonna do it because he punched a hole in Shigaraki, and all of a sudden, some something's trying to come out of it now. I don't even know what the fuck it could. Like, is he about to produce himself a new body? Is that's impervious to like Eraserhead's quirk or something? Like, what's about to like? Is he about to split himself off so one half can deal with Deku and the other half can go after Eraserhead? Like, what?
Yeah, and it's still that whole situation where we might be doing a situation where like Deku technically, I guess, puts his consciousness inside of Shigaraki and kind of like fights him inside as well.
Oh yeah, the spirit plane thing
Yeah, type situation. Yeah,
that still could.
that might be a whole thing in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah, still confuses me how that works. But hey,
I'm with you there. That might be a whole thing in itself. But definitely what I'm looking forward to is it didn't happen this episode and it didn't happen last episode, but it look like it's gonna happen soon, right? I'm not sure when, maybe next episode because Shoji is not Shoji, old boy is trying to free Kurogi from the hospital. But what I'm really waiting on is to see All for One pop off, right? You can't tell me that Prime All for One comes back and he doesn't pop off, right? I said it last episode, but I'm expecting to see some crazy stuff out of this man.
Oh, definitely. There's definitely something's about to happen. Like, there's no way that he took that fucking pill and not about to do something crazy because he already was cut. He was already cutting up in that little 5 minutes that he had at the end of that episode. He was already cutting up, so I already know. I already know. But yeah, this other episode with Shoji though, to be quite honest, it surprised me because I did not know we were going to we were giving back screen time to the side characters like this. I really did not expect that. I was like, okay, I mean, like, obviously there's more sides in this war. I just did not know that he was like, yeah, I'm a last hurrah. Give some more stuff to characters that barely got anything.
As soon as 150, I got done watching 152. I said, "Dang, I might have to bump Soji up in the tennis."
That's what I said too. I was like, oh shit, maybe. Me and Ace were predicting the future because we were legit like Shoji is a pretty good character, but they don't do a lot with him sometimes.
Don't do a lot with him sometimes, but he's cool though.
And now he the fucking crux of
did some cool shit.
He trying to be MLK for the goddamn heteromorphs, like.
He is the true leader of the heteromorphs. Is this your leader? But yeah, no, he had a nice scene as well. And then also, old boy, I can't remember his name right now, but the one who there you go, Coda. His powers also evolved, so that was dope as well.
He killed.
Like he has a wider reach now on animals. He can make them feel even more of his feelings now.
Yeah, I thought he killed that man with them birds because there was that guy. There's a guy on the rooftop that was basically like when Spinner when Shoji and Spinner were fighting, he was trying to egg the other heteromorphs on, and Shoji was like, "Get your ass down from with the birds." I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Is every student by the end of the season gonna have a body? Is that what I'm understanding?
Is that what we about to witness here? I mean, they might have listen. A few might have to catch a body before this all said and done, man. The way some of this going, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I?
Was it Shigaraki?
Oh, there we go. With Deku, because we was talking about this last episode. Potentially Deku going 100% again, and technically, I get he did do that this episode.
I was like,
and I mean, because technically we did see something new, right? Because like the glow wasn't like around his body or nothing or his hair, but we saw the glow like in his eyes this time. So right, there was another visual change, and also another thing. And also that I thought about, does Deku just not do full Howling anymore, or does he just do it instinctively now?
I assume it's instinctively. I don't think we see it anymore because it's like that was such a.
It's just understood.
Yeah, I was about to say him doing it, him achieving it was so long ago. I think people just understand that it's something he's gotten accustomed to now. So we don't.
Yeah, okay, which makes sense, of course. And I just wanted to make sure we was on the same page with that as well, because I figured that was the case. Like he just kind of does it instinctively now. Like there's no need to really have Deku saying, I'm going full Howling every single time anymore.
Yeah,
especially with all the new powers that he's getting and stuff as well. So
yeah, I was about to say, especially like that was like him combining everything now. Like I don't think they necessarily need to. I think they just show the effect, like you say, around his body, and we kind of just understand. Oh, he's he doing the shit.
He doing the damn thing. Yeah, so that was cool. I guess technically Dick 100% isn't necessarily like a form or like a new power up in the sense, right? It's just he's using 100% of his powers in a sense, which is almost a letdown in my opinion, but I guess. I mean, there's still technically, I guess there was a visual change in it, right? So I guess that's really all I need, right? But this visual change just wasn't as striking as the last one, because the last one was like a hair visual change. This one was just more you can see the power,
energy,
flowing, the energy, flowing out of his eyes and his body as well. But that's just interesting thought.
I mean, I get you. Well, that's what a lot of people say that they don't like about My Hero is that when you look at the movies, they do so much for production value, and then when you get to the show that has like these really cool moments in the manga, it does not hit the same as when it's on the anime. So I mean that just sucks, and I think it was still cool, but like I definitely could tell like they could have done a lot better, I think, with some of the moments there. But I mean, we still got more
in the gear ship scene. You think they could have done better?
Well, I mean, like even you said, like they're like effect wise, they could have probably done more,
Oh
right?
well, yeah. Okay, but yeah, I mean, if the original, source material ain't got Deku all flashed up, then why are we
Well, no,
gonna,
they say no. That's what I was saying. I was saying like a lot of people actually have a problem with like the My Hero anime because of stuff like this, where in the manga you'll have like extremely well done panels or shots, and in the anime it's not the same. And they a lot of people think it's akin to like the fact My Hero keeps doing a lot of their
So is
elite
Deku
shit in
supposed
the
to be a little
movies.
mini Super Saiyan then?
But probably. I don't know. I need to go technically look at it myself, but a lot of people have complained that certain scenes in the anime aren't as striking as they are in the manga.
Okay.
Uh a
Just a
lot.
general complaint,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
I'm about to say, if you're telling me that it was like basically visuals we're missing from Deku and stuff that we're just not getting because they're not doing it for some reason, that'll be horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I plan to kind of go back and look through it stuff. I just it's always a gamble doing shit like that, just because that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very much that
yeah,
is a quick
yeah.
way
You
to
you
get
you
spoiled.
are correct. Yes,
So
unfortunately, sometimes doing research on your favorite anime is a quick way to get spoiled.
yeah, because
Sometimes
every time you type something in, it's someone dies, and I'm just like, even if the character not dead, but like on the off chance that is a spoiler, like
that they
fuck
are
you,
dead. Like,
yeah,
what are we
like
doing here?
like I don't think that should be the first thing I see or something. I don't know. I feel like there should be a spoiler tag filter with searches sometimes because fuck you. A man just trying to a man is just trying to run the podcast, okay? That's all I'm trying to do.
100%, yes. But yeah, Deku versus Shigaraki at the beginning was wild. Get Shift was crazy. Definitely excited to see how what's gonna happen after this 5 minutes in. I mean, once again, I'm excited to see Prime One for all pop off because I know once again, I'm like I said, there's no way you bring this man back in his prime full form, and he just don't do something crazy, right? So
Mhm.
I'm ready for the pop off to see whatever he do. And then also definitely Dobby as well, because this man done pop back up now, acting all crazy. Too, so
Yeah. I honestly before I for honestly like I thought that's what they were about to show us when they were like when they switched. I thought they were going to show us like Dabi versus Todoroki, but then I was like, you know what? I'm actually glad we got to see Shoji and Koda kind of pop off because like that I had totally forgot about like uh them trying to get Kurogiri back at the same time all this shit is popping off. Like I forgot that because they don't focus. They like at the beginning of like everything they show it for a quick like moment and
little
then
second, yeah.
it's boss battle central. Like we are like Toga's over here, One for All is over there,
Evil
Dabi.
Incarnate is over here.
Yeah, like that became the focus. I legit almost forgot that like Spinner was leading a small army until this episode. Like I was like,
100%. No, I'm with you there.
so I'm kind of really glad we got this episode because at first I thought we were going to like we were going to bounce from all right Deku now
Back to
to
Dobby.
Dabi or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
I mean, but there's also the fight with Ochoku and them going on that island
and
as
so
well. So we
yeah,
still got that going on too.
yeah, I'm wondering if that's gonna be like the next thing they show. The next thing they show because technically everybody else done popped off. I don't know what the fuck is happening on Toka's island on the island with
We
Toka
don't. We
though.
don't.
But
We don't.
I know everywhere else somebody done popped off except there. So that probably will
We do
probably
need
be
an
the
update
next
from
thing.
their
Yeah,
island. We
and
do
that
need an update from their island.
yeah, that's probably the next thing that we're gonna get is that one because they've shown like Spinner got like scale mode now. So that's his evolution. All for one back to Prime. Dabi learned Todoroki's move after one goddamn go. So yeah, like the only person that hasn't technically leveled up is Toga. So like that's probably what we're gonna get next.
Yeah, I wonder. It'll be interesting to see how what she does as well because we know her quirk has been evolving. So it'd be hopefully nobody too dangerous is on the island with it right now. Like as a person that she could copy. I don't know if she has any like leftover blood from somebody else, just
Yeah,
just on
just
her hip
the
or something that she could use as well. That might be a problem.
because
there's
Lord
there's no
knows,
telling.
Lord knows. I was about to say, Lord knows she could definitely have it. So
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, but the overall, how do you think the war has been going so far?
it's been entertaining. It's been really nice. Like I definitely. have been enjoying myself. It will be a bummer to find out that like it could have been more stunning visually, like how people, like I said, like how people have been saying. But other than that, I've been really good plot lines, really good action. I've been enjoying myself.
Same here. Same here, 100%. All right, everybody. So once again, that's the end of the My Hero review. How have you been enjoying My Hero? Has it been popping off in your opinion? Are you a manga reader, anime only? Because once again, the My Hero manga has officially ended. So for my anime owners out there, be safe.
Mhm.
But yeah, so let us know your thoughts and opinions down below about My Hero so far this season, everybody. But with all that being said, everybody, um, not much left to say other than McMillian. Go ahead and take us on out of here.
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate you for watching / listening. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider following us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otakus on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you're listening on Spotify or any of the other audio platforms that we stream on, please consider following the show, leaving a review, and sharing us with your family and friends. We really appreciate it. For those on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. You know the deal. Please let us know in the comments what you thought about this episode, what you have been excitedly watching for this anime season, and what you're looking forward to for the next. We would love to hear it. And with all that, continue to enjoy the summer season, guys. This is Gurren Otaku saying, meeting adjourned. Peace out, everybody.